Oh, greetings, I'm Chris. I have ghosts in the room at the moment. Yeah, my cats are in here, so they're tearing the place apart. You might hear the background music. Yeah, I can't seem to keep them out of here, so I don't know if they're going to appear anywhere, but I guess we'll find out. All right, greetings, I'm joining us to broadcast. Brought to you by the, I don't know, insanity. So this is UFO disclosure again. Not sure where that's going to go. God, they're so distracting. Fake alien invasion, and Air Force Plant 42, and then connect to Aries. This might be a big fail if they keep that up. Well, usually they're up here jumping on me, so at least they're not doing that yet. So, anyway, for fake alien invasion, it's getting kind of interesting. Distractions. It's pretty interesting with fake alien invasion, basically like the secret space programs. So even SpaceX had a UFO encounter recently with their with a you look up SpaceX and UFO just I guess last night. So yeah, it's getting. I guess they're testing things out to show what they show some of their tech. So who knows? It feels like they're going to bring up something this year. It's hard to say, but I mean that's the real secret space program. So I guess we'll find out. I have no idea how they're going to do it. So there's a possibility they're going to bring up something. And they keep doing all this UFO disclosure stuff recently. So they have nothing else to talk about anymore. They're burning off of the this whole health situation. They kind of run out of ideas for that. So it's really hard to say where things are going. So I would be surprised. So it's obvious there's different versions of the secret space. There's a fourth dimensional version. There's a third dimensional version. So I guess they're getting anxious to show themselves. So it might not be just aliens. It might be just a fake alien. Yeah, it was a fake alien threat. You might not actually talk about aliens, but throughout countries, who knows? I guess we'll just find out. Yeah, it doesn't mean they'll actually show the aliens, but they'll just, who knows? It's really hard. I don't know. It's hard to say. We'll just see if I can do a connection there and see where I can get. As for these two, I'm not sure I want to do it. Oh well. They're kicking everything around. So, Plant 42 is apparently it's by Los Angeles, and apparently that's a lot of the high tech stuff's ever been put into it. I mean, on the record, they've developed a lot of advanced technology, stealth bomber, things like that. But apparently, they do a lot of alien tech there also. So I was going to tap into the planet itself. Let's see what I get. And then connect to Aries and the Aries constellation. So we get it from that. So the planet 42 is going to just channel the planet itself. See, I told you somebody was here. I'm not just making things up. That's Priscilla. Yeah, she can't see her right now. So okay. Let's see if we're giving any of this. Just real quick, for those that are new to all of this, ZionTalk.com. Private sessions, and we have this store here. I'm on. For some people, I'm on the 15th, but not everybody. Same situation here. We have the webinar sign up. We have the social network, Rabbit, behind the scenes, and maybe they're reading the newspaper. And don't know if it's picking up on the mic or not, but it's loud here. So they're kicking stuff around. I got the cats a car. They have their own remote control car now. They don't know what to do with it though. So yeah, they're living the high life. Jeez. This might be the last time I'm gonna have cats up here. Anyway, all right. Blessings. All right, for UFO disclosure, we'll see what comes in for that. Armstrong energy, I still feel with that. Tall whites, I feel. Yeah, definitely a tall white vibration there. So, okay, all right, blessings. Here we go. Greetings. That consciousness of alien disclosure, timelines, of you connecting more to yourselves, of removing as third dimensional idea systems, allowing us the fourth dimension to come in stronger for humanity to go into a new age. So while the third dimension is not going to necessarily break down completely, but some of you will see it's not as strong. And many of the governments, those that are holding on to this reality, are going to just do everything they can that can sustain it. So just expect a lot of changes throughout your coming years. Not to say you're going to have a huge explosion of alien activity, but you'll feel that you're not in the same timeline as you were before. Some of you are already feeling that. Yes, the presidential energy is not exactly doing. Whereas there's a lot of unhealthiness in that mind. That shows the government is becoming weaker. But it also shows another government is slowly being formed, and that's why you're seeing all these UFO energies too. It's a distraction, but it's also showing the shadow government showing its talents. So the shadow government is not necessarily going to expose itself, but finding a way of bringing more of alien technology more into your everyday lives, with control added to it, of course. So are they going? You're just going into a new vibration altogether. Humanity's going to have to learn how to trust more of itself. Obviously, things are not going to become clearly throughout your lives, but the third dimension is breaking down. And even those, yes, spiritual teachers are actually holding on to the third dimensional energies because life is going well for them. There's nothing wrong with that, but also 4D energies can easily come in and shift out the third altogether, which you're working on at this time. So yes, retiring a third dimensional energy is not the easiest, as you can see. Yes, we're not saying that there's going to be a fake alien invasion, but your shadow government, you're having a shadow government invasion. So it's not necessarily a bad thing, but it is showing that they're not willing to hide themselves any longer. Yeah, so it shows that your next phase is slowly coming in. So they're going to play around it for some time. They're not going to do anything drastically anytime soon just yet. They're still not sure how this is going to go either. Now, how this is going to go is still up in the air at all. It's just, they're not going to obviously reveal themselves, but they are getting anxious where they just can't keep themselves hidden anymore. Well, they just like the attention. So expect more of UFO knowledge become more part of society. In the way it is now, it just becomes more obvious. But it's more like propaganda than it is actually the real thing. Just to let you know, it's more superficial. It's not really the full, truth. But it is showing you are going into the environment over time. Greetings to you. We are Andromedan tall whites. Greetings to your civilizations. Yes, we are not worried of where humanity is going, but yes, you are having a soul growth that is going to be unpredictable as yes, the third dimensional energies become less on your world. So yes, you're going through ascension energies. Basically, you're leaving the physical going into the non-physical. Obviously, you're still in a physical body. That's what makes things more difficult. So of course, you're letting go of timelines. What you brought in here when you were born, you're releasing. And that's not the easy release, obviously. And it is causing blockages too for you not to see the future for certain reasons. But you are going into a split or more fourth dimension, even fifth dimension, even sixth dimension coming through more clearly. It's just not clear at the moment due to the erratic nature of the physical. Definitely still needs healing itself. That's why some of you are opening up your vibrations. People just talk about healing because the third dimension needs healing all it can get. I mean, even if those that don't want to heal themselves, you're receiving healing anyway. Those are just more focused on the healing aspect of it. Healing actually the sun, the moon, the stars, anything that's blocking this earth from ascension. So we're not saying you're going to go into a fourth dimensional vibration just yet, but you are shift. So you're in a transitional period. This is a very slow one. That's what makes it so. That's where the agony is. So, well, yes, and just some of you are feeling those vibrations through mental attacks and things of that kind. So, us as alien beings, of course, are just watching right from a distance. I mean, we're doing all we can, which probably isn't much. Well, we're keeping your world going. We're keeping it relevant in the universe. We have to, yes, when you see most of humanity wanting to just be controlled and be told what to do, I mean, literally wants someone to tell them what to do. Not everybody, but quite a few. And that's where, that's where the ascension energies aren't, that's where growth isn't truly happening as fast as someone would like it to. It just, just a lot of, we want to call it laziness, but in some regard it is. And yes, you have your matrix people that are ingrained into this reality, but this is why your reality the way it is, say, of course. And they're known to hold on to everything currently forever. Like they can be, in the 1950s, 1960s forever. So they actually get kicked out of each era. 1950s here, you have to move on. 60s comes, you have to move on. And you're going through that now. So yeah, there's a lot of moving around. This world has it. A lot of worlds don't. A lot of worlds you just stay in one area and that's it. And that's what most of your society is used to, as you can see. So, yes, just give them good music and sexual relations, and that's all they need. And they can just stay in the same era forever. It doesn't really work that way. So you are seeing the world evolve. It's just maybe not exactly, you don't have your aliens landing their ships, but you are seeing it evolve. You're going through it right now. It's just something that would like to happen faster, obviously. So now you can move yourself faster, of course, but the rest of the world obviously is going to take its time. And then when you get to a certain level and then you see the rest of the world taking its time going nowhere, yes, that's very aggravating. Greetings to you. We are Plant 42. Yes, it's shifting over out. We are, yes, the Air Force, military, Planet 42. Now, that is hidden in plain sight. So that is a form of disclosure. They are talking about what they're doing. Of course, they say they work on aliens, which they do. But of course, I mean, they want to see what the public will do. And obviously, most don't do anything. But imagine more of this becoming more a part of your culture. Yes, many would rather just live their daily life and not a lot. But this new realm is going to come in no matter what, of some kind of disclosure, whatever it might be. So it's kind of being forced in some regard. That's why you're having little tidbits come in. But many, yes, I want this. Actually, many wanted it to happen 10 years ago, even when the technology was still quite primitive at that time. Obviously, it's more advanced at this moment. So, disclosure vibrations. So, some of you might, it's up to you in your metaphysical ways, tapping into Air Force bases if you wish, if you have the if you have the bravery for that. I mean, we're just doing it on a vibrational scale. Most likely, you'll see your grays or reptilians there without a problem. It depends on what you connect to. There's always alien energies on all of these places, but some of them have a more of a vibration because they're actually hiding a lot of it. So while you have grays and reptilians there, just keeping it all concealed for now. Eventually, all these Air Force bases will become museums themselves, where anybody can visit them. It's like, wow, why are we scared about this whole alien energy? Well, it has to do with the agendas. There's many agendas a part of just hijacking reality. Who's going to try to control it? That's the problem with your disclosure. Is just somebody trying to control the narrative, trying to control society. As you can see, it's everywhere. There's always an agenda. That's why this whole awakening thing is so difficult. Like, yeah, you might be able to wake up to alien disclosure, but who's going to control that narrative? Who's going to control that? Who's what aliens are going to be in the White House? And it's like, whose agenda is this after all? We might get our aliens, but is this really what we want? Especially if it's propaganda, controlling society, and so forth, whatever it might be. Yes, a false alien attack and things like that, which is still a possibility. Obviously, they're not going to make it completely clear. But yeah, it's unfortunate of what has been done here. There's a lot of selfishness with those with power. You feel like as you go into a healing phase for this alien disclosure to truly activate, to fully go into your new realm, is for many of you to choose, yes, what timeline you want to be on. Now, some of them wanted this current president as a timeline, and obviously you got what you wanted. Kind of like an artificial AI energy that's there, as you can probably see. A program. And of course, your crown, your British crown, is handling a lot of alien disclosure too. No light on them, as you can see, but they know a great deal. But they'd rather pay attention to the United States than them because they know a great deal. They're not going to disclose anything. So, not at this time. But if they are going to disclose anything, it's going to be an agenda attached to it. Your U.S. Yeah, it's going to be a manipulation, propaganda. Expect all of those things. This is the world you signed up for, but it does not mean you still can't get the true knowledge here. It's just going to be a little bit rough to pull in. So yes, it's all about the timelines. Where it comes down to. Oh yes, if you want an alien aircraft, of course there is. I mean, your NASA is there. Of course, NASA is like the Mickey Mouse of your reality of space. For your average human. And there's a lot of deep energies here of technologies that are just completely just insane. Imagine some of you can imagine what some of those technologies are. So, but just expect a lot of control coming into your society. Yeah, they're not going to give your aliens without, from what we see, at least the government is not going to give your aliens without a price added to it, without an agenda attached to it. Now they might bypass it. They might not even bother with it. They might just can it. But it is an energy field at this time. As you can see, the more the UFO knowledge is brought up and governments added to it, it shows there's an agenda there. If it's just your everyday Joe talking about it gets attention, I wouldn't even trust that at the time. Because there's still agendas, there's many agendas happening at this time. So why are you here is basically to, if there is a fake alien threat that's being brought in, it's for you to decipher that. Your next test is on its way, whatever it might be. It is in motion, as many of you probably feel. Greetings to you. This is Aries. Blessings to you. Yes, the Ram energy. Are yes, we very part of your emotional state on your planet. We do feed off a lot of your problems here. There's a lot of civilizations from Aries are bewildered that your planet even exists. Yes, there's many that have trouble even diagnosing that your planet is even a planet at all. That's amazing that it's still here. So they send their people here from Aries to assist. Some of them are teachers, some of them are government workers, but a lot of them are part of humanitarian connections. He says your Mother Teresa, always a part of her, we'll say part of her, came from, well, she's been to Aries before, let's put it that way. And Diana has some connections there too. Of course, you all have connections to all sorts of places. Your energies here, of course, are quite dense due to, yes, the agendas, but also humans slowing down. You're used to realities where everything is hyper fast. That's why maybe you take drugs to connect to those realities, those psychedelic drugs. You're used to running at 100 miles an hour or faster. So you come here to this world where everything is just dead slow. It's like, yes, it's the worst, the worst thing that ever happened to you. No matter what happens in life, everything happened here so slow. That's probably the worst thing that ever happened. It's just the slowness of reality, and all it's good, and it's learning how that works. Well, the reason for it is so you can learn these lessons. It's not there to torture people, but it can be torturous. Well, some humans learn very slow here, if you have not noticed. But of course, in a fast realities, a lot of beings don't learn there either. So coming here in a slow environment, because the fast did not work, so they made this world as slow as possible. So those that are arguing about how slow reality is, how boring it is, and all of that, well, we put you in a hyperactive reality, and that didn't work either. So why Aries is connected here is basically to help you through all of this if you want help at all. Well, many souls don't want any help. So that's what you're learning at this time. You're just basically calming a lot of, it's how many souls really want help here. And if they do, they want a certain type of help. As some of you might have noticed. So the Ram energy is, we're kind of, yes, a little bit too truthful, you can say at times, but we basically have societies that if you're going to be here, there are rules of, but if you're going to be here, do something with it. If you're going to incarnate here, live your life to the fullest. No, I know it's kind of like telling people what to do, but it's like, go for it. You have this life. We're not telling you how to live it, but just do whatever you want. And majority is very positive. Every once in a while, there might be a negative energy, but most of the time, those are trying to figure themselves out. The most of the negativity comes from just clashes from others. You're just not always getting along with each other. But at least you're going in the direction of finding what you want. You're doing what you care about. And some souls, even in higher dimensions, have no being. Like, what am I doing here? Why can't I go to a world where everything is slow? Because some beings feel like some realities have too much meaning to it. Let's go to a world where there's no meaning, like your planet. It has meaning, but it's not very clear. Because a lot of high vibrational planets do make themselves clear what they're there, why they're created. It's almost like going to a store and telling people what you're selling. Your planet, you always know what it's selling. It's like a mystery planet, as you can see. I mean, some worlds are it's too, I wouldn't call it too easy, but in some regard it is. Some want mystery in their life, so they come here. I mean, there are mystery worlds, but this one has it to the, at its length. There are third dimensional worlds where you don't have to go through a lot of your body, illnesses, trying to lose weight and all that. You have the weight you want to be. If you want to be fat, you be fat. If you want to be skinny, you get skinny. It's just an easier way of doing it, but you're more trying to sort things out, living your life as you want it to. And that's important. But here, as you can see, everything's kind of like at dead stop. Once again, these are for the beings that can't learn in higher dimensions, and they come here, they can't learn here either. Yeah, there's a lot of hard-headed souls here. And I'd say everybody here is hard-headed, but quite a few are. It's just you give them, yes, high vibrational candy, and that's not good enough. They come here with low vibrational candy, even that doesn't work, sort of, but some souls you can't make happy no matter where they go. I think some of you can't do those vibrations also. So our energies is basically why Aries even exists. It's just assisting you on your travels, on your direction, and getting to know more of yourself overall. It's just all these star systems are assisting in your direction. It's just none of them are making it clear. In our reality, some of our realities are coming clear to you. It's just, once again, there's a lot of souls here that just don't want to learn at all. They learn, but there's like, yeah, but I don't really not interested in that. They have the potential to improve themselves, but then they stop. And they go backwards. There's not many planets where you can actually do that successfully. On a higher vibration world, yeah, that can turn into negativity, you can say. It all depends on the environment, though. Everyone's trying to learn from them. It's like, wow, it's like you can evolve and go forward, and you're here on this world going backwards. How did you accomplish that one? So, and some of them had Earth incarnations. And it's not necessarily a manipulation from another being. It's just the way the soul is. It's just the way the being is. Sometimes there are archon beings like that, not always. It is some beings have different. It's just universe. It's just an odd universe from other universes. Because you can say all universes are a little bit strange overall. So the Aries vibration. So there are ram beings there. There's all types of. There's felines, rams. Felines and rams don't get along usually. Sometimes I guess you say that's another reason why they're feline beings here. We get along. We don't get along. It's a little bit of. A lot of reservations there. The ram worlds are, yes, we can say we're kind of like Indians in some regard. We can have, a lot of us spend a lot of time in space. We do have humans that do have like ram they do look like ram people, and that sounds a little strange, but that does exist. But there's also worlds where they just look like humans, just like you. Yeah, there's always. You'd be surprised. The human on your world is in a lot of places. Not everywhere, but there's a lot of places. But it's you take this form and you learn it somewhere else. where you don't have to have all of this blockages, all the slowness. I mean, even aliens get impatient with this place. Now that says something. But aliens get impatient with it. Well, I've been warned to have patience with this planet. But then they get there. That shows you this world is just kind of like a pain in the neck. Yeah. I mean, Rams can be, very hard headed too, of course. But this world does take the cake. Or you can say some of them are from Aries that are, yes, hard headed beings that incarnated through Aries. Things are just too good. So they come here and make things harder for everybody here. It's not just reptilians that have difficulties. Oh yeah, there's a lot of beings that just like to go slow, or just like to be enigmas. They like to be different. They just want to break all the rules of the planet, and you're having that here happen now. So many have gotten used to slowing things down and going backwards, technically descension, and many of you are here to break those rules and go forward. So you're healing all that dissension energy, which is not easy. Yeah, it's like hard-headed beings, prisons that are here. And you can heal the prison. I mean, obviously, there's a prison within a prison, as many of you feel. You're here to release a lot. If you can release the prison that's here, like literally a prison where people are, and heal that energy, where you don't no longer need that, a lot of this will be removed pretty easily. So, as I imagine you to know that, but let's see. So, um, see if I can get one of them. 1 second. Whoa. Yeah, this is Fritzy. So on that last. Yeah, that's the only one I'm going to get on. Another one was the other one. So